What's up guys, it's Matt Collins Jones here, also known as the D365 Geek, and today I am talking about Microsoft Flow and I'm going to talk about the Flow details screen. At least that's what I call it. So what is the Flow details screen? The Flow details screen is the screen that you go into before you start editing a Microsoft Flow. It has loads of information about how to turn things on, turn things off, export, import, flow runs, etc. So let's take a look and I'll talk you through some of the things in this screen. So I'm in Microsoft Flow here, I'm in My Flows, and I'm going to choose this flow down here called Update Across Environments. Now this is what I mean by the Flow details screen. So this has a bunch of different pieces of information all in one place. So you can see things like the connections, things like the owners. So let's go through each one of these bits so that you kind of understand what we are talking about. So this first bit here is the details page. So the details page tells you the name of the flow, tells you the owner of the flow. We've got the status. In this case, the status is on. We have when this flow was created, and we can also see when this flow was last modified. We have the type of flow, it being an automated flow. And we also have the plan. So the plan is sort of how the flow is licensed. So there are currently two types of license. There's a per user plan and there's a per flow plan. There are some other types of licenses like Office 365 and D365 plans, but these are the two that you kind of mainly be seeing. So this does have an edit button. You can click on edit and we can update the name. We could give it a description. We could say something like this flow connects data from two different environments for testing. We could also update the plan here. So as you can see at the moment, this says that there's no capacity for a per flow plan license here. And that's because the environment that I'm using doesn't have a per flow plan. It has a per user plan and I'm licensed for that. I don't have any spare flow plans that I could use. We'll click save and then we'll see that this flow details screen is updated. We see a little green bar at the top. Flow details have been successful. We can also see that now this has a description. So that's great. On the right, we can see the list of connections. Now these are the connections that are inside your Microsoft Flow. So at the moment I've got a common data service connection, but if I had, say, a Twitter connection, a YouTube connection, a SharePoint connection, I would see those in there, and then I could click into them and I could get a bit of information about it, or I can edit them and it'll take me into the edit screen and we can look at managing connections and remove or add connections in there or update them. We also have the owners. So I am the owner of this flow, but again, I can click edit and I can add another owner in here and that would make this a team flow. But you'd see a list of owners there, and owners are the people that can edit them. At the bottom, we've got runs, so we can see when this flow last ran, the duration of the flow, and the status of it down here. And we can open one of these and then see where that flow failed or see what the successful outcome was. We can also click all runs and it'll give us a list. We can then edit the flow from here, or we can actually export these to a CSV file so that we could maybe do some reporting on that, or maybe take a look at them in a bit more detail. If I go back, we're going to talk about these ribbon buttons up top. So edit allows you to edit a Microsoft Flow. So just as like the regular flow screen that we usually see in these videos. Share allows you to share the flow with other users. So if I wanted someone else to help me with a flow, maybe updating it or maybe editing it, if something that I don't understand, I could share it with another user. I can save this flow as, so I could create a copy of this flow and change the name of it. So I could save a new copy and then start editing that one. Great if you don't want to mess up a flow that you've already got working and you may need to update it or do something. I can delete the flow. Pretty self-explanatory. I can send a copy of this flow, so I could copy this flow and then send it to another user so that they could open it up and start doing stuff with it themselves. This is good, especially if you have personal flows that do something specific for you and maybe someone else wants to do that. So say whenever a new opportunity is created, send an email to me to say you've got this new opportunity, or maybe a new document's been uploaded to SharePoint. We want to get notifications of that. We don't want those. We want those as a per user basis. So the email address in there would be my user, and then if I send this to another user, they could put their email address in so they get the notifications. I can submit as a template. So doing this allows you to create a Microsoft flow, and then the templates are what other people could use to start a flow. So we've talked about how to make flows in the past and templates being an option. If I have a really good flow that I think would benefit a lot of people, that's generic enough so that most people could use it, I could submit as template, and then other people could potentially use my flow if it gets accepted. So this isn't automatic, this is a process that Microsoft would review these. Export. So I can export this flow into two ways. I can export as a package zip, or I can export it as a logic app template or .json. So this allows me to export these and then move them to another environment. There are other ways to do this, like using solutions, and we're not going to cover these in this video, but it's just to be aware that you can export this and then just go and import this in another environment. So that's all good. Analytics. The analytics is a Power BI dashboard. You can see Power BI loading here that tells you things like the number of runs, the successful runs, etc. You can change the date range. You can show the errors, and this gives you some useful information about your Microsoft flow. Really good if you have a flow that's being used by a lot of people and you want to make sure that it's running well and there's no errors, and how people are using it or when people are using it. We can turn the flow off just by clicking this button, and we just switch off and then on again. And then there is a repair tips off or on. Now, when you click this, this is basically telling you that you won't get alerted when something happens with your Microsoft flow. So at the moment, if your flow starts to fail, you'll get email notifications. There'll be a notification in this notifications area at the top. But by turning repair tips off, it will stop those notifications going out, and you'll just need to come in and then look at your flow. This is especially handy if you have a flow that may fail sometimes for various reasons. Maybe it's designed to fail under certain circumstances, and you don't always want to get those notifications, or maybe you just don't want those notifications in general. That's what that can be used for. So I hope this video was very enlightening. I hope you've learned something from it. If you have learned something from it, please like this video, please share it with your friends. If you've not already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you haven't, please hit me up on Twitter or LinkedIn. All the links down below. And yeah, I'll see you next time.